Friends, now we are going to discuss about named reaction, other named reaction. What is that? Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. We are going to discuss about Baeyer-Villiger oxidation. So, what is Baeyer-Villiger oxidation? Here, this is oxidation of oxidation of aldehydes and ketones. Oxidation of aldehydes and ketones into esters by using per acids. What is the general formula for per acid? RCO3H. So simply conversion of aldehydes or ketones into esters directly. You can convert aldehydes into esters and ketones into esters directly by using the reagent per acid or CO3H per acid. See here, the net result in this reaction is what we are going to observe here. The net result is the insertion of additional oxygen atom. Insertion of additional oxygen atom additional oxygen atom adjacent to carbonyl group So in this mechanism we are going to observe net result is the insertion of additional oxygen atom adjacent to carbonyl group. We are going to insert an extra oxygen in between carbonyl group and alkyl group. So for example, you take ketones here, RCOR dash. So that is keto family. Now here this keto in the presence of per acid, any per acid you can take, RCO3H in the presence of acidic medium. So here an oxygen is additional oxygen inserts between carbonyl group and alkyl group. See here, suppose in between this carbonyl group and alkyl group an extra oxygen is inserted. So this we are going to observe during the mechanism. RCOR dash turns into RCOOR dash. This is called per acid. Suppose if you take acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3 in the presence of any acid, per acetic acid means here CH3. What is the structure? Acetic acid, you know, na? One extra peroxyl linkage is there. You know, CH3COOH means acetic acid. This is not acetic acid, this is per acetic acid. An extra peroxy linkage is there here, per acetic acid. Now what happens, students? This acetone turns into CH3COOCH3. So acetone turns into methyl acetate ester. Acetone turns into methyl acetate ester. So here an extra oxygen has been inserted between, because it is a symmetrical ketone, an extra oxygen has been inserted between carbonyl group and alkyl group. So here many per acids are there. Examples you should know. The general formula of per acid is RCO3H, and for example metachloro, we can use these as per acids. Metachloro perbenzoic acid. Simply they won't mention this name, metachloro perbenzoic acid. Instead of this MCPBA on arrow, simply they mention this one. What is M means meta, CPBA means chloroperbenzoic acid. Metachloroperbenzoic acid. Metachloro, see what is its structure? See, this is metachloro, meta position chlorine. Benzoic acid, you know na, metachloroperbenzoic acid. This is the structure. This is meta position, metachloro. Benzoic acid, you know, COOH. Instead of COOH, an extra oxygen is inserted. This is the structure of metachloroperbenzoic acid. Instead of giving all this simply on arrow, they will keep like this. That is nothing but metachloroperbenzoic acid. In the same manner, trifluoro, some of the examples of peracids. Trifluoro peracetic acid. Peracetic acid. So you know acetic acid CH3, instead of CH3, CF3 I have taken COOH. This is called trifluoroperacetic acid, and this is the trifluoroperacetic acid structure. Trifluoroperacetic acid. All these are examples of peracids. In the presence of peracids, these carbonyl compounds directly convert to esters. Aldehydes or ketones are directly converted into esters. In the presence of peracids, this oxidation we call it as Baeyer-Williger oxidation. Generally, what happens during the mechanism? The net result is the insertion of additional oxygen atom adjacent to carbonyl group. So in between carbonyl group and alkyl group, an extra oxygen atom has been inserted between carbonyl carbon and any alkyl group. So this is called Baeyer-Williger oxidation. Okay, now we will write one mechanism. Suppose if I take unsymmetrical ketones, if you take unsymmetrical ketones, suppose for example R, C double bond O, R dash, in the presence of peracid, any peracid in acidic medium, finally what you got here, RCO, OR dash. Okay, two different alkyl groups. This is an unsymmetrical ketone. So here oxygen has inserted between this carbonyl carbon and alkyl group, R dash group. Now what is the mechanism for this? So mechanism is useful for IIT students. For NEET students, direct equation we can remember. And see, step 1. First of all, what happens? You take keto group R dash. First, in the presence of H plus, what happens, students? First protonation takes place. What you will get? R, C double bond O. So here H, and here a slight positive charge, and protonation of carbonyl carbon has taken place in the step 1. So in the step 2, what happens here? In the step 2, take this protonated one, protonated ketone, we call it as protonated ketone. And what is the peracid taken here? I am taking the peracid like this, RCO. This is the peracid structure. This is peracid. Now what happens here? In the presence of these peracids, so like this, okay. Now here slight positive charge is observed, and here this oxygen donates lone pair. Now what you are going to observe, students? R, C, OH, right? Next R dash. Next this oxygen donates na, so oxygen attains slight positive charge. What happens, students? This oxygen attains slight positive charge. Now see here H, O, C double bond O, R, right? Now here what happens, students? Next step, carefully you observe this step, lone pair here, and here the migrating group. See here, actually you can take this O minus here itself, okay, because it is a peracid, so that H plus ion is released. So here no hydrogen won't be careful here once. RCOO minus will attack this, right? Now here you are going to get this intermediate. Next step, you see this alkyl group migration of R dash, Now what happens? Here the bond gets cleaved. This one minus RCOO minus is eliminated. And finally what you are going to observe? R, again C double bond O, H. This R dash will migrate towards this. Then you are going to get OR dash, right? In the last step, what is a catalyst in the starting? At the end of the reaction, catalyst should be recovered, H plus. From here H plus will come out, minus H plus, oxygen withdraws electrons, and finally what you are going to get, students? R, C double bond O, OR dash. Directly you will get ester. So this is the process of conversion of ketone to ester. This is ester. So observe the mechanism. First protonation followed by peracid attack. Here peracid in the presence of H plus. See, this acid will attack here, and you are going to get this intermediate. And finally what happens? This will come here. This here migration of R dash group from here to here. and here this bond, OO bond, peroxy bond gets cleaved, RCO minus is eliminated, and finally you are going to get this intermediate. After that H plus is eliminated. This is useful for IIT students. So this is the mechanism of Baeyer-Williger oxidation, how a carbonyl compound like ketone converts into ester. An additional oxygen atom has inserted between the carbonyl group and alkyl group. So for example, let us take one example. So this is benzophenone. This is an aromatic ketone. This is called benzophenone. So it is a symmetrical ketone, right? It is a symmetrical ketone, no problem. On arrow simply they will give MCPBA. So simply for NEET students also it is useful. So what is that? Keto group. An additional oxygen has been, it is a symmetrical, any side it can insert, right? Finally you are going to get this. This is called, what we call this one, students? Phenyl benzoate. So directly benzophenone is converted to phenyl benzoate. So next, students, suppose you may think that see here, suppose in case of unsymmetrical ethers, we may get the doubt where to insert that additional oxygen, because two groups are there, R and R dash groups are there, where the additional oxygen gets inserted. So in case of unsymmetrical ethers, ketones, in case of unsymmetrical ketones, here what point you have to remember is, in case of unsymmetrical ketones, see, in case of unsymmetrical ketones, the new oxygen atom is very important point for objective, students. No need to remember the mechanism also. In case of unsymmetrical ketones, the new oxygen atom is always inserted between the best migrating group. See, already group migration you observed in mechanism. Best migrating group and the carbonyl carbon. This point is important for objective. See, this is very important point. In case of unsymmetrical ketones. In case of unsymmetrical ketones, the new oxygen atom is always inserted between the best migrating group and carbonyl carbon. So how can you say which alkyl group in between carbonyl carbon and alkyl group oxygen is inserted? But there are, if two different alkyl groups are there, we have to think that in between which alkyl group and carbonyl group the additional oxygen has been inserted. So it depends upon the migrating aptitude of the group. See here, actually the migrating aptitudes of various groups given experimentally: hydrogen greater than, tertiary alkyl group, you have to remember this order, tertiary alkyl group greater than, secondary alkyl group greater than, phenyl group greater than, this is for IIT students, cycloalkyl group greater than, N-alkyl group greater than, ethyl group greater than, methyl group. So this is the order, experimentally derived order. See how we apply this order. The best migrating group is hydrogen, tertiary alkyl greater than, secondary alkyl greater than, phenyl group greater than, cycloalkyl greater than, N-alkyl greater than, ethyl greater than, methyl. Now see, for example, I am giving one example. You have to predict the product, okay? See, this ketone is given. Simply on arrow, I am giving RCO3H, H plus acidic medium. So, what is the product now? This is a ketone having one side cyclopropyl and other side methyl group. So, here, according to that order, cycloalkyl group has got greater migrating power than methyl group. So, oxygen insert between more powerful migrating group and carbonyl group. Now, what will be the product, students? See, extra oxygen I am inserting. Very easy to remember. Migrating competition arises between cyclopropyl and methyl. Out of this, according to this experimentally derived order, cyclopropyl group has got greater migrating aptitude than methyl group. So, new oxygen is inserted between here. So this is a major product. Next, see students, this one you tell me. This is also an unsymmetrical keto, useful for NEET also. Directly, no need of mechanism, just remember this. So on left side which group is there? Ethyl. On right side which group is there? Methyl. What is the migrating aptitude? Which group will migrate fast? So ethyl. So the best, always remember that the new oxygen atom always inserted between the best migrating group and the carbonyl carbon. So out of ethyl and methyl, which is the best migrating group according to this order? Ethyl group. So what will be the product? See here, extra oxygen is inserted here. So I got this one. So understood students? So this is next. You see this example students, very easily you can predict the products now. Even useful for NEET students. Come on, tell me. RCO3H, H plus. So this time what are the groups you observe? Phenyl group and ethyl group. So according to this order, which group is greater? Which group has got greater migrating aptitude? Phenyl group when compared with ethyl group. So the additional oxygen inserted between, you can insert the additional oxygen between phenyl group and this carbonyl carbon. So like this you are going to get students. And one more example I will give for you. One more example. So here, suppose if I take cyclohexanone, so what will be the product students? So it is a symmetrical compound, no worries here. Both possess CH2 here, this side CH2. Now additional oxygen gets inserted between. See here, any side you can do. Here additional oxygen, right? Right. So this is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. So this is called epsilon caprolactone. This name is epsilon caprolactone. Now you tell this example students, very easy to remember. So what is this nature of the carbon here students? This is primary alkyl group. Primary or secondary? This one. This is secondary. And what about this carbon? This is tertiary, right? So according to the order, tertiary greater than secondary. Now extra oxygen inserted between, inserts between, where? See here, extra oxygen insert between, see here the extra oxygen gets inserted, so this one, okay. So finally this will be the product. So I think you understood students. Now here the thing is, suppose there are two types of groups. What are those? Electron releasing groups and electron withdrawing groups are given. Then competition arises between, suppose on one side electron releasing group, on other side electron withdrawing group is present. Then always remember that the new oxygen, that means here if two groups are there, electron releasing group and electron withdrawing group, the new oxygen always get inserted between, new oxygen always gets insert between carbonyl group and electron releasing group. So for example, see here, very important. Now I am applying this one. So one side phenyl. So like this it is given students. So this is phenyl group. This is, which one is more powerful releasing group? This is the powerful releasing group. So when you treat this compound with peracid, what product you are going to get? See here, new additional oxygen always insert between here, more releasing group. This is the powerful releasing group. So additional oxygen insert between the carbonyl carbon and this releasing group. Now you take one more example students. So here nitro group, this is electron withdrawing group, and this one lone pair will be there now. This is electron releasing group, right? Now if I treat this compound with peracid, where I am going to get students? New extra oxygen, where it gets inserted? Here. So complete detailed story regarding Baeyer-Wilger oxidation, very important for competitive exams. So students, now we are going to discuss about next named reaction. That is called, what's the next named reaction, students? Next, iodoform reaction. Already you know idea regarding this iodoform reaction already in alkyl halides and aryl halides, but here we are going to discuss detailedly regarding iodoform reaction. And generally we call it as haloform reaction, very important for NEET as well as IIT. Haloform reaction. So haloform reaction, generally what is this haloform reaction? Simply in statement we can write multiple halogenation of methyl ketones. Methyl ketone means COCH3 fragment. Methyl ketones in the presence of base. Here generally we use NaOH. Multiple halogenation of methyl ketones in the presence of base, leading to the formation of haloform. Suppose if iodine is used, that is haloform. So mainly in this multiple halogenation of methyl ketones in the presence of base, leading to the formation of haloform. Haloform general formula CH(X3). See here, generally if you take any ketone here, generally with respect to ketone, if you take CH3, suppose acetaldehyde I have taken 3 moles of iodine, 4 moles of NaOH. If you find this reagent, that indicates iodoform reaction. So on heating, what you are going to get? CHI3. So you are going to get an yellow color precipitate, yellow PPT. This is called iodoform. Plus HCOONA plus 3NaI plus 3H2. Actual equation is this one. See here, iodoform is the main product, and sodium formate. This is called sodium formate. Suppose if I take acetone. Here acetaldehyde. Suppose if I take acetone, it is treated with iodine in the presence of NaOH. So what I am going to get, students, here? CHI3 iodoform, yellow PPT plus CH3COONA. This is called sodium acetate plus 3NaI, sodium iodide plus water. So actual equations are this one, exact equations related to aldehydes and ketones. So in final, this is iodoform. Okay. Now what is the actual mechanism involved? How these products are formed? How can we remember? Because it's very long equation. How to remember the products without by hearting. So for this purpose, I am taking the acetone equation and explaining for you. So first of all, how multiple halogenation takes place here. I am going to tell the mechanism for you. Now I am taking this equation. So here step 1, what is going to happen? Mechanism not required actually. For IIT students it is required. For NEET students I will tell the technique, no problem. So here first I have taken acetone, CH3COCH3. This is alpha carbon, right? So first sodium hydroxide splits into Na++ OH-. No need to by heart the mechanism, just learn how you are getting the products. So here this OH- acts as a base. So base, what it will do, it abstracts alpha hydrogen. So finally what you will get, CH3, water molecule is eliminated, CH3 CHO C double bond O CH2-, right? This is very very important, stable carbanion. So if you draw the resonating structures, so CH3CO double bond CH2, this is called enolate ion. What we call this one? Enolate ion. First one, what you are going to get? Enolate ion, right? This carbanion is more stable, na? Why this carbanion is more stable? Here resonance is there. Electron withdrawing groups increases the stability of carbanion. So in iodoform reaction, what is the intermediate generated during iodoform reaction? Especially useful for IIT students. Carbanion. So this is step 1, right? Now step 2. See what I am taking here. Carbanion I am taking CH3CO CH2-, this carbon ion, I am taking this carbon ion, it interacts with any halogen, iodine. Okay na? So here bond gets cleaved and this bonded I minus will be eliminated. So here this will take this I plus I minus, right? So I minus is eliminated. So Na plus I minus, sodium will be there now. So Na plus interacts with I minus, NaI will be eliminated. Finally what you are going to get? CH3 C double bond O, CH2 I. So right, so after formation of CH3 C double bond O, CH2 I, what did you observe? One of the alpha hydrogen is replaced by iodine. So in the same manner again I am taking the base. So again this base abstracts this hydrogen. Water molecule is eliminated. Again CH3 C double bond O, CH minus I. So like this you will get again carbon ion. So this carbon ion intermediate again it is taken by I. So 3 moles of iodine we have used na. So here bond I plus I minus. Again sodium iodide is eliminated out. Na plus interacts with I minus. So finally what you will get? This carbon ion will take this I plus. So CH3 C double bond O, Ci2H. So 2 halogens. Now total 3 alpha hydrogens. Out of 3 alpha hydrogens, 2 alpha hydrogens are replaced by 2 iodine atoms. Again it interacts with base because 3 moles of NaOH we have taken in the reaction. So here Na plus OH minus. This OH minus again abstracts this. So water molecule is eliminated. Finally what you will get? CH3 C double bond O, again C minus I3. Sorry, Ci2 minus, right? Ci2 minus. So now this again it is treated with iodine. So I plus I minus. So this C minus will take this I. Again I minus is eliminated. I minus interacts with sodium to Na plus I minus will be eliminated out. So CH3 C double bond O, Ci3. So finally we will get this. That means multiple halogenations takes place. 3 times iodination takes place because all the 3 alpha hydrogens are replaced by 3 iodines. So finally I got triiodoacetone. 3 times base 3 carbon ions are generated 3 times here. So generally we used in this equation you can see 3 moles of iodine. So I have consumed 3 moles of iodine and 3 moles of NaOH I have used here till now. So now you see triiodoacetone na, in the last step again see step 2. This is total step 1. Now in this mechanism CH3 C double bond O Ci3 na, again it interacts with base. Total how many moles of NaOH we have taken? 4 moles. 3 moles already we have used in the mechanism. Now here nucleophilic addition reaction takes place. It attacks like this. So finally CH3 CO minus OH Ci3, like this you will get. In the next step what happens, students? In the next step this bond will turn this side and here Ci3 minus will be coming out. Ci3 minus will be coming out and finally CH3 C double bond O OH, right? So and this Ci3 minus interacts with C CH3COOH. So CH3CO minus H plus. So this Ci3 minus will take H plus. Finally what you will get? CHI3 plus CH3COO minus Na plus. This mixture you will get CHI3 plus CH3COO minus Na plus. So this is the exact mechanism of iodoform reaction. But for competitive exam point of view, we have got one technique. Just we will learn how to predict the products directly without using of mechanism. Now see. Now I am taking some examples here. So actually carbon ion generation, total 4 moles of NaOH is consumed here. Now see how I am getting the products. Students, very easy. For competitive NEET and IIT you can apply this technique. See, iodine plus aqueous NaOH, if it is given on arrow they will give simply like this. So how to predict the product? By seeing this reagent you have to think this is an iodoform reaction. Now simply what happens, multiple halogenation, identify the alpha carbon, replace all the alpha hydrogens by using iodine. So what you will get actually, if this is subjected to iodination in the presence of NaOH, what you will get, intermediate product, direct product I am writing Ci3. Oh, okay, all the 3 alpha hydrogens you replace with Ci3. In the next step, what you will do is, in the presence of NaOH, so split this, right? Split this. This side you keep H, this side you keep ONA. That's all. Just this is a technique how to remember the product ONA. NaOH is there na. Just normally it's not possible actually. For getting the answer I am telling the trick. Okay. Actual mechanism you have to follow that. But here for getting objective, simply first alpha hydrogens are iodinated and then cleave this bond, CH this side, ONA this side. So what are the products, students? Finally key main products ONA this plus CHI3. So in this manner directly, and remaining water molecules, that no need to write. Sodium iodide, all these are eliminated, no need to write. We want only main products for objective. So what are, by seeing this you have to say what are the products. First iodination followed by this type of bond cleavage. Okay, now you tell me the product, student. See, I have taken CO, CH3, whatever it may be. See, simply on arrow if it is given like this. So how to predict the product? I said na, first step what you have to do, students, apply Ci3 you keep, right? Iodination, first iodination. Next what technique I said, NaOH na, simply cut this side H, this side ONA. So what you will get, students, final product CH3, CO, ONA plus CHI3. In this manner, very important reaction for conversions. So iodoform reaction is very important. I think you understood how to get products. This is called sodium acetate and this is called iodoform. Sodium acetate plus iodoform. Right, students? Next one more example I will give. See, actually this iodoform reaction is given by what type of compounds? So before going to tell, now what is the product, you tell me, students. On arrow NaOH plus I2 is given. Simply what I said technique, first you write Ci3 in this manner, iodination. All the 3 alpha hydrogens are displaced by iodine. In the next step I said na, NaOH, split this side H, this side ONA. So what you will get the product? CO, ONA plus CHI3. Okay na? So like this, whatever the compound is given, we can easily predict the products. Now, sometimes, see what type of fragments containing compounds gives iodoform reaction. Compulsory methyl ketone, CH3 C double bond O fragment must and should be there, or CX3 C double bond O fragment containing compounds undergo iodoform reaction. Methyl ketone, CX3CO. In the same manner, some of the alcohols, if you find this type of fragment, CH3CHOH, if any compound possesses this type of fragment, it will undergo, because this is a secondary alcohol. So here secondary alcohol first oxidizes to keto group. Is this fragment containing compound is given, simply what you have to do, you have to oxidize this alcoholic compound into this keto like this, because CH3 C double bond O, if it gets oxidized, and then you have to think of it. First oxidize secondary alcohol to keto and then subject this one to, see for example I got this one. What are the products means, first you oxidize this secondary into ketone, again you will get na, then what you will do, iodination. Okay, so CH3 C double bond O Ci3, then same technique, NaOH I said na, as before, this side H, this side ONA, like that. So this fragment is important, and at the same time CH3 CHCl, because we are using aqueous medium. So this type of fragment, because CHCl is replaced by OH and OH undergo oxidation, CHOH undergo oxidation to carbonyl group. So these fragments. Next CH3, this geminal dihalides, this. So whenever you find these type of fragments in any organic compound, those compounds will compulsory undergo haloform reaction. Those compounds will compulsory undergo haloform reaction. Instead of some books they will give, instead of writing I2 plus NaOH on arrow, they will write NaOI. That is also correct. NaOI means sodium hypoiodite, or they may use NaOCl. Instead of writing chlorine plus NaOH, they may use NaOCl. Okay, so that is very, very important, students. And the thing is, one more point you have to remember for IIT students here. What point you have to remember here is, especially IIT students here, see, suppose CH3, CO, CH3 is given. On arrow, they will give chlorine, aqueous NaOH. So what you will get? CH3, CO, CCl3. Next, on arrow, bromine, aqueous NaOH is given. So in the step 1, what you will get? CH3, CO, CBr3, right? Now on arrow, if it is iodine plus aqueous NaOH is given, so what product you will get? CH3, CO, Ci3 you will get here. So now the thing is, they will ask for especially IIT advanced students, they will ask, see, arrange them in the decreasing order of their reactivity. So whose rate is more? Chlorination, bromination, iodination. Here the thing is, it is a base promoted halogenation. See, in case of this is an example of base promoted halogenation. So rates of chlorination is equal to rates of bromination is equal to rate of iodination. Remember that. All the rates are equal. This is important for advanced. Already it is asked in advanced exam. See, they will give this one as R1, R2, R3. Arrange them. Means here R1 equal to R2 equal to R3. Because it is a base promoted halogenation. Rate is found to be totally independent on the concentration and identity of halogen. Because rate of reaction doesn't depend on concentration of NaOH as well as concentration of chlorine or bromine or iodine. Because what is the rate determining step in this reaction? Rate determining step is, see, actually overall rate of the reaction is controlled by a single step, that is called rate determining step. So if you observe the rate determining step, you won't have this. See, if you observe the mechanism of rate determining step here, so in this rate determining step, what is the rate determining step? First step, step 1 I said na. In the first step, what you got here? In the first step, what you got here? This is the rate determining step. What you got here? Nothing is involved here. Only basic medium. OH minus abstracts H plus, carbon ion is generated. Formation of inlet ion. Here no bromine, no iodine, no chlorine is involved. This is RDS, rate determining step. This is the rate determining step of the reaction. Overall rate of the reaction is controlled by this step. Formation of inlet ion is the rate determining step. So here in this rate determining step, no halogen is involved, no chlorine is involved, no bromine is involved, no iodine is involved. So that's why the entire rate of the reaction is controlled by a rate determining step. So here no halogen is involved. So rate of reaction doesn't depend upon the type of halogen. So that's why rate of chlorination is equal to bromination is equal to iodination.